very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to you all, especially you here at the front of this absolutely magnificent ceremony, about which I will tell you a lot more in a minute. But before we go any further, will you show your appreciation for the wonderful music we've heard this evening, played on one of this country's finest Father Willis organs by the assistant organist here at the Cathedral, Hilary Punnett. You're all probably wondering who on earth I am. My name is Andrew David, and I'm the managing editor of the community radio station, Siren FM at the university. And having spent a lifetime in broadcasting, the university authorities thought I was the best person to strangle some words and try and settle some nerves at the beginning of this most important moment in your lives. Before I talk to you, my friends at the front, let's see what we brought in at the back. Hello? I think they're just keeping out of the rain, for which we apologise. Let's try that again. Hello? Thank heavens for that. Now, that should be an icebreaker. I know you're in a magnificent church, but you are allowed to enjoy yourself, particularly on this occasion. The cathedral authorities are really happy for you to applaud, whoop, and make all sorts of appropriate noises when the moment arises. Now, I'm going to address the people at the back because there's lots of flashing going on. And I'm sure you've got the latest super-duper high-pixelated technical bits and pieces for taking photographs. I can guarantee that under the subdued lighting in here, it's still going to look a bit grainy. So during the graduation ceremony, can I ask that you don't pop up out of your seats to try and take a photograph of your beloved progressing from one side as a graduand to the other side as a graduate? It's very distracting. There is plenty of time afterwards for you to come up and pose for photographs here, and we have professional stills photography, and you can find out more details about that when you get up to the castle after the ceremony. So please don't leap up and down. Now, to you guys at the front, I know I've been watching you. You've been twittering and Facebooking and WhatsApping and Instagramming. I'm going to give you probably something that sounds a bit heretical. But the piece of advice I'm going to give you now is for the next hour and a half, the rest of the world can wait. Because what we don't want is that embarrassing moment when you've accidentally forgotten to turn the phone off and there's a ringtone echoing magnificently around the cathedral. This is a good idea to turn it off now. Not in silent, you guys at the front. Turn it off. The button you haven't touched since you got it out of the box in the shop, okay? To our friends at the back who still want to take photographs, can you make shits on silent or flight or throb or whatever? But please, please turn the sound bit off. Just look at where you are graduating from. This University of Lincoln, modern, now top 10 because of the Teaching Excellence Framework, modern university, but we graduate you from somewhere quite magnificent. This is reckoned to be the finest piece of medieval architecture anywhere in Europe. It's stunning, and it's yours for the next hour and a half. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the space, enjoy the history, because what you're about to take part in is a very historic event. It's a very historic ceremony. It goes back hundreds of years. And in fact, about 800 years ago, they were trying to sort out where academia was going to be based. And there were a group of very clever clerics in Oxford, one of whom was the Chancellor of Oxford. His name was Grosseteste. He was a priest, and he and the others were all being clever and thoughtful down there. And he was also always looking for the next big appointment. Believe it or not, back 800 years ago, to become Bishop of Lincoln was reckoned to be one of the top 3 appointments in the church anywhere in the known world. So when he was offered it, he said, academia, bishopric, I'll go to Lincoln. And everybody in Lincoln thought, yippee, we'll get all that learning stuff. Didn't quite work out like that because it took us another 800 years to get the university here. But in that 800 years, we have been watching everybody else do it their way, and then we've come up with the way we do it here in Lincoln. A couple of my friends are vice-chancellors of colleges in Cambridge. And whenever they come and see the way we do it here, they tell me that even in Oxford and Cambridge, a ceremony like this isn't anywhere to be seen because they don't have a venue like this. So this is unique just for you. How does it work? That's the bit I'm going to try and explain, and especially for the group of distinguished graduates at the front here who will be the first to go through all this. So pay attention. Whatever they do, hopefully you'll be able to replicate. The first thing we need to do is to make sure your equipment is all in the right place and seated firmly, although mine isn't, obviously. Right, you've got a tassel, okay? Probably got a mind of its own, blown around in the wind and the rain. It needs to be on the left-hand side. There's a very good, crucial reason it needs to be on the left-hand side, because of something I'm going to teach you, which is the Lincoln Doff. Years ago, when Grosseteste was in the universities, they used to give you your degree by you coming forward and kneeling in front of the Chancellor. He would be given a scroll of parchment, and he would thwack you over the head with it. Sadly, we are no longer allowed to beat people about the head with their scrolls. I think it's a good idea, actually. So we had to think up some rather more distinguished way of doing it. So what we have come up with is the Lincoln Doff. And this is a way that you show respect to two very important people. The first person is the Pro-Chancellor who will be sitting here. His name is Hayden Biddle. You'll recognize him because he is the very last person in the procession, and he sits in front of a big mace, and he's the first person to speak to you when the ceremony starts. And he needs you to doff at him. So what does this doff look like? It's very simple. All you do is you touch the side of your board like that. Simple, unless, of course, you've spent the last 4 hours in a pub. At which point, it might be, where is it? No. So we're going to check that you can at least find your hand towards the mortarboard on a count of 3. Are we ready? Right. 1, 2, 3. Up, down. Ooh. Bit dubious. There's some moments. Let's try that again. Bit crisper. Are you ready? Especially the front row, because they'll be looking at you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Up, down. Oh, much better. Very well done. Good. Now, that's only half the story. The next bit requires you to walk from one side of this stage to the other. And those who've been out and bought brand new shoes this afternoon may be feeling a little challenged, but take it slowly. I'm going to show you how you get on stage. Now, so long as you are all in the right place, this will work like clockwork. We have a wonderful team of ushers. Wave at them. Yeah. So long as you're in the right place, they will take you row by row seamlessly round here. Now, I can guarantee that whatever I'm telling you now, you'll have forgotten in about 10 minutes' time. But there is one part of your body that will react instinctively, I can promise. You're round here, and you're waiting in the wings. There's a person here who has your name on it and your degree, and they will announce it in ringing tones around the cathedral. So it's Andrew David, University of Lincoln, a degree in this, that, and the other. At which point, all of your friends will start cheering and whooping. And at that point, your legs will project you onto the stage. And at that point, you'll also say, hello, yes, you never thought it would work. You never thought I'd make it. Well, I have. Please don't play to the crowd. Just enjoy the rapturous applause which you've much deserved. What you've got to do, especially you lot, is aim for about the corner of the stage. There's a bit of greenery here. Aim for the corner of the stage, turn, and look at Hayden. Hayden, who's sitting there, will be looking directly at you and smiling. All you need to do when you get there is to perform the doff. Halfway there. The next bit is probably slightly simpler. Standing here will be Professor Toby Wilkinson. Now, Toby is tonight's Pro-Vice-Chancellor, and he will have his hand stretched out. Guess what? If you've forgotten everything else, aim for the hand. and you shake it, okay? You shake it and smile at him. You don't suddenly think, oh, hello, camera, take my bet. No, don't do that. Toby will get upset. You shake his hand, smile at him, and then all you've got to do is to get off stage, down the ramp, and there you collect your certificate. Straightforward? Yeah? They look terrified, this lot down here, okay? I'll go through it in real time. You're taken out of your places. You arrive here. Your name is announced. You move smartly on, smiling, look at Hayden, and then shake Toby's hand, and off, trying not to collide with the microphone, and down there. And that is very simply, and in a very dignified way, the way you graduate here at Lincoln. You've worked extremely hard for this moment. I made a couple of jokes about those strange hours in the night when you've been eating pizza at 2 o'clock and wondering whether it's ever going to work, and then those equally magical hours when you've been trying to submit on Blackboard. Yes, we've all been there, staff and students alike. But this is your moment of glory. You've worked extremely hard for this, and we at the university want to give you the best possible experience. And there's one extra thing I haven't told you about. As the ceremony comes to an end, Hayden will stand up and he will invite you to join the procession out of the cathedral. And I can tell you, when you reach all your friends and relatives who are cheering and clapping, that is a moment that will stay with you for the rest of your life. So enjoy every second of that. When you get out of the cathedral, you'll be invited to go up to the castle grounds. There's a reception up there. And in particular, I'd like you to go and visit the team in the alumni tent, because they'd like to keep in contact with you, telling you about what your university is doing, and more particularly, we'd love to keep in contact with you to find out exactly what it is you're doing. So, nearly there. Can I wish you all the very best, and whatever it is you're planning to do with the rest of your lives, the very best of luck. Good evening, and have a fantastic time.
Please be seated for the Pro-Chancellor of the University of Lincoln.
It is my great pleasure and privilege as Pro-Chancellor of the University of Lincoln to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony. Welcome first to all our guests, here to celebrate the achievements of your children, grandchildren, family, and friends. Welcome to the friends of the university, whose steady support over the years has helped to build its success. Welcome to my colleagues, the staff of the university, through whose efforts the university is what it is today. And finally, and particularly, welcome to our students, our graduates, for whom this ceremony marks the culmination of years of hard work and study, and we hope a little fun too. This is a very special occasion for all of us as we come together to recognize and celebrate your work and achievements. I hope you enjoy the ceremony and remember it always with immense pride and profound satisfaction.
Reverend Canon John Patrick will offer the congregation his welcome on behalf of the Dean and Chapter.
Pro-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, can I, on behalf of my colleagues here at the Cathedral, offer you all a very, very warm welcome to what must be one of the greatest buildings we can come to for a ceremony like this. You are very welcome indeed. Lincoln Cathedral is above all a place of worship. It's where we've offered prayers for this city and for its people for well over 1,000 years. It's also a place where Parliament has met. 800 years ago at the Battle of Lincoln, a battle was fought just at the West End where you all entered. Last week we had theatre in the nave, Jekyll and Hyde, looking at the images of darkness and light, good and evil. If you come in a fortnight's time, where you sit this evening, there will be 880 people ready for supper and celebrating Charter of the Forest. But tonight we come and we celebrate success, the success that each and every one of you rightly deserve after months and years of hard work. So on behalf of my colleagues, can I say congratulations to you all, and along with you say thank you to all those who have loved you, supported you, and encouraged you on your journey here this evening. We come into this cathedral church, so now I conclude by offering a prayer for you and for your journey from here as graduates of this great university. Lord God, we give you thanks for bringing those who graduate this day to this special moment in their lives. We ask you to accompany them as they face new adventures, possibilities, and challenges. May they ever look to you, the fountain of wisdom, this day and always. Amen.
The Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lincoln, Professor Toby Wilkinson, will address the congregation.
Pro-Chancellor, honoured guests, friends, families and graduands, may I also offer you a very warm welcome to this graduation ceremony. Today is a special day in the university calendar when we celebrate success and recognise achievement. It is a special occasion for all of us here but particularly for you, our graduands. This is your day, and we are delighted to share and enjoy your success with you, your families, and friends. We are privileged to be able to hold this graduation in the splendour of Lincoln Cathedral. This cathedral was once a great centre of learning and hosted some of the most notable scholars in the world. I would like to thank the Dean and Chapter for allowing us to use this wonderful building where we can celebrate Lincoln's scholarly tradition dating back almost 1,000 years. To our graduands, I simply say, congratulations. You should be very proud of your achievements, not just academic, but everything you have achieved during your time at university. Many of you will have accomplished things you didn't think possible before you came to university, and your presence at this ceremony confirms and celebrates your success. Although a university degree is a mark of individual achievement, none of us is able to succeed entirely on our own. The support of family, friends, fellow students, and the academic and professional staff of the university will all have contributed to your success. So please join me in thanking your parents, friends, and university staff for all their encouragement, enthusiasm, and support that have helped you through your studies. This evening, we recognise the achievement of graduates from the School of Film and Media. And I'd like to share with you the story of a student at the Lincoln School of Film and Media who graduated in 2010, Joseph Fallon. In Joseph's own words, "By the end of the course, I was passionate about all aspects of the degree, even the parts I left behind in previous semesters. But after graduating, I was undecided on what to do next. My first thought was to do a master's. In order to pay for it, I decided to take a year out and get the first job I could find. The job turned out to be the McDonald's at the end of my road. While working behind the grill, I applied for jobs and work experience at various production houses. But after hundreds of emails and applications and 7 or 8 interviews, I was still unsuccessful. I needed experience, which I was unable to get. I was trapped in the classic catch-22. After 4 months, my first work opportunity came from a contact I had made writing my dissertation, the subject being movie trailers. I headed to London for 2 weeks to do a work experience placement at a trailer production house in Soho. It was terrifying. I told the lead director about my plan. He told me to go away and make some trailers. So that became my goal. I worked 5 days a week at McDonald's, so every chance I got, I would sit at my computer and I would edit. New Year's Day 2012, I was getting my hair cut and had a missed call on my phone. To this day, it was the best message I had ever heard. The director of a company in Soho had watched my trailers and was very impressed and would like to talk to me about doing some work for him. Over the next year, Joseph was offered a job as a junior editor and won 3 awards for his entry in a short film competition. He subsequently moved from London to the company's New York office. And he finishes his story like this. In February of last year, our office announced they were setting up an office in Los Angeles. I instantly put my hand up to go out to help set it up. It was heart-wrenching to leave New York, but LA was always the goal. I arrived here April the 1st, 2017. I now live in West Hollywood and work in downtown Los Angeles. Recently, the 2017 Golden Trailer Awards were held, where I won my 2nd award. The lessons I've learned from the last few years and advice I would give to anyone are as follows. Persist, work hard, do what you want to do, connect, and shoot for the moon. It is successes such as these that contribute towards the success of the university as a whole. We're particularly pleased that our commitment to a great student experience and graduate success has been recognised nationally in the results of the Teaching Excellence Framework. This official assessment of teaching quality at British universities gave Lincoln a Gold Award, the top category, putting us in the top 20% of universities. But the comments of the assessment panel made it clear that ours was a 24-carat gold award. This fantastic achievement is thanks to all our students and staff. Everyone today here can take pride in Lincoln's gold. Graduation is a rite of passage when we celebrate past achievement and anticipate future success. So at this joyful and significant occasion, I'd like to say a few words about looking back and looking forward. Anniversaries provide a good opportunity for looking back, and this year marks 2 historic anniversaries for Lincoln and this country. First, as we've already heard, we are marking the 800th anniversary of the Battle of Lincoln. While not as well known as the Battle of Hastings or the Battle of Britain, the Battle of Lincoln was every bit as important for the future of this country. It was fought in May 1217 in the streets around this cathedral. On one side were the forces of the barons, who were trying to overthrow the young King Henry III and give the throne of England to the French. On the other side were the forces loyal to Henry III, led by the chatelaine of Lincoln Castle, a redoubtable woman called Nicola de la Haye. In the months preceding the Battle of Lincoln, the rebels had made all the running and looked like winning. Only Lincoln stood in their way. They probably thought it would be a pushover. But they had reckoned without the steely determination of the people of Lincoln and their inspirational leader, Nicola de la Haye. Under her command, Lincoln held out against the rebels long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Lincoln remained loyal, the rebels fled, and English freedom was secured. 800 years on, the Battle of Lincoln reminds us of the importance of leadership, of staying true to your beliefs even in the face of fierce opposition, and of fighting for what you believe in. Nicola's determination, at a time when society was dominated by men, also reminds us that gender identity should be no bar to achievement. I'm delighted that the university has named one of its buildings in honor of Nicola de la Haye, the woman who saved England, as a permanent reminder of her remarkable contribution and as a celebration of the values she represents. She remains an inspiration today, just as she was 800 years ago. The second anniversary we mark this year is more recent, but no less significant. 21 years ago, this autumn, Her Majesty the Queen opened the first university buildings on the Brayford campus. It was the first new city centre campus to be built for a generation, and it ushered in a remarkable transformation, not just of the Brayford, but of the whole city of Lincoln. What started in 1996 as just 2 buildings has grown into the remarkable campus you know today. This year alone, we have opened the new Sarah Swift building for the College of Social Science, the Isaac Newton building for the College of Science, and the new student accommodation at Cygnet Wharf. And it's worth remembering what brought about the building of a university campus in the heart of Lincoln. It was a decision by the people of Lincoln themselves, who saw the benefits that a university would bring to this city and threw themselves behind the project. Over the past 21 years, I hope we, all of us here today, have repaid that trust and delivered those benefits. It's easy to see the physical changes that the university has brought or to measure the economic impact. But the people of Lincoln knew, and you have demonstrated, that the biggest transformation comes from the energy, enthusiasm, and engagement of individuals. You, our students, bring your creativity and vitality into the heart of this city. Over the past 21 years, you and those who have gone before you have left your mark, contributing to the current and future success of Lincoln and Lincolnshire. So finally, let us turn to the future and look forward. At American universities, graduation isn't called graduation. It's called commencement. That's because it marks the beginning, the commencement of the rest of your lives. Yes, we hope you will look back with pride and a sense of achievement on your time at the university. But we also want you to look forward, to think how you can take what you have learned at Lincoln and use it to enrich your life and to benefit society. Some of you will already know what you want to do and have a clear path before you. Those of you who will be going on to further study with us, we look forward to seeing you at our postgraduate welcome event. But I'm guessing that for some of you at least, the future may be a little less certain. When I graduated from university, I certainly had no idea what I wanted to do. If you belong to this category, don't forget that the university, your university, is here to help. As graduates of Lincoln, you are members of this university for life. Staff from our Careers and Employability Department are on hand today and in the future to offer advice. I don't need to tell you that the pace of change in this, our 21st century, is getting faster and faster. We cannot readily imagine what future changes will take place, nor what impact those changes will have on the world of work or wider society. That's why university is so important. It's not so much what you learn as how you learn. The critical thinking and the creative problem solving you've developed during your time at Lincoln are exactly what will be needed to succeed in a changing world. That's the point of university. Training gives people the skills for today's jobs, while education equips people for tomorrow's jobs, jobs we haven't even thought of yet. And the difference between secondary and higher education is this. At school, they teach you to get the right answers. At university, you learn to ask the right questions. In English usage, the phrase looking forward carries with it a sense not just of the future, but of future enjoyment. We look forward to a holiday, to a party, to catching up with friends. As graduates of the University of Lincoln, you can look forward in every sense to the future, because you won't merely adapt to the future, you'll shape it, you'll create it. And the university, your university, looks forward to the future with equal confidence. We remain committed to delivering an outstanding student experience and graduate success, to producing excellent research with real impact, to serving Lincoln and Lincolnshire, to making our mark on the national and international stage. In short, we look forward as a future-focused, place-making, mold-breaking university. But above all, we look forward to staying in touch with you, our graduates, to hearing about your successes in every walk of life, to honoring your contributions, and to celebrating your achievements. Thank you. By the authority vested in me by the Academic Board, I am pleased to confer upon you all the awards to which you are entitled.
Professor Stephen Peacock, Head of School, will now present graduands who are receiving their awards this evening.
Pro-Chancellor, I am pleased to present the graduands now receiving first awards from the Lincoln School of Film and Media. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Animation. Emily Kate Bancroft. Christopher Franklin Basso. Amy Belshaw. Abigail Cook. Amy Jade Dunn. Jarvis J. Feather. Charlotte Giles. Sam Langton. Denham Munn. Sarah Louise Thirlwell. Harrison Tolley. Isabel Tutty. Louise Whittle. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Audio Production. Ethan Jamal Adamson Joseph. Clementine Rose Cousins. Marshall Dawn. Sean Doyle. Benjamin James Hollick. Sam Alexander Jenkins. Paris Jake Linden Hall. Jessica Lofthouse. Charles McCrae. Daniel Marnie. Oliver Michelitsianos. Callum Norfolk. Joseph Pallett. Callum Price. Callum Smith. Ben Ward. James Woodliff. Robert William Wine. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Contemporary Lens Media, Jessica Mary Barker. Scott Blake. Molly Orion Braun. Craig Clayton. Ellis Dawkins. Georgia Dawson. Gavin Thomas Greenwood. Kieran Hill. Faith James. Eleanor Elizabeth Johnson. Sigrid Goli Hoy. Naomi Lincoln. Kathleen Mayall. Rebecca Noble. Emily Alice Nunn. Jennifer Ann Richardson. Jacob Ralston Royan. Kerry Marie Rosser. William Sanders. Amanda Soldal Rasmussen. Rebecca Jane Spink. Abigail Strodder. Lillian Thompson. Emily Rachel Clare Wetherill. Emma Jo Winton. Alexander Wright. Catherine Christine Wright. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Film and Television, Maisie Storm Anderson. Emmy Lauren Brown. Lewis Carr. Daeun Choi. Matthew Coppard. Emily Jane Cunningham. Paul Dixon. Charlotte Astrid Downey. William Andrew James G. Xenia Grounds. Samuel Mark Hampshire. Cameron Hutchinson. Corey Jordan. Si Chun Lau. Sangyup Lee. Letitia Lemon. Patrick Lewis. Alistair Menzel. Benjamin Peter Mycroft. Benjamin Reynolds. Anna Patricia Richards. Christian Robson. Chloe Sanders. Daniel James Shepherd. Hannah Smith. Matthew Gim Liang Tan. Heather Thornton. Guy John Philip Townsend. Joshua Toyne. Pu Wang. Royuai Wang. James Ward. Joe Webb. Laura Wells. Dario Wilson. Thomas Michael Woodcock. Degree of Bachelor of Arts in Film and Television, Sam O'Sullivan. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Media Production, Benjamin Adams. Zach Atkin. Lucy Baldock. Rowan Hope Barnes. Brandon Barton. Anthony Bird. Christopher Blandford. Caprice Brett. Jonathan Bridges. Michael Brown. Matthew Brunt. Robert Bryant. Katie Rianne Bullock. Jack Burton. Kate Burton. Thomas Samuel Cairns. Adam Canning. Matthew Captures. Lauren Chandler. Liam Chong. Jess Claxton. Louise Emily Clements. Rory Dominic Cole. Natasha Jane Cook. George Cooper. Sarah Cosgrove. Ross Coulson. Shanice Curtis. James Daly. Hannah Louise Darby. Leah Darville. Daniel Martin Davison. Matthew Robert Dennis Day. Daniel Derrick. Joseph Donaldson. Jordan Julian Christian Dowell. Scott Duru. James Alexander Earl. Kerry Eves. Amelia Louise Edelston. Lucy Ellis. That concludes the first part of the presentation of awards.
We call upon Jackie Briggs, Head of the School of Social and Political Sciences, to introduce to the congregation the Right Honourable Lord Malloch-Brown, who is today receiving the award of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Pro-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, graduates, I am pleased to present to you Lord Malloch-Brown, on whom the governing body has agreed to confer an honorary doctorate. Lord Malloch-Brown is an international diplomat and one-time Deputy UN Secretary-General and head of the UN Development Programme. Being British, he has held some of the most challenging briefs in the international civil service. He is now retired, though still working with the International Crisis Group. British nationals cannot hold the top job in the UN, as we are already privileged to have a permanent seat at the Security Council. Lord Malloch-Brown has thus had a most distinguished career. Born in England, educated at Marlborough College, he earned a degree in history from Magdalen College, Cambridge, and a master's in political science from the University of Michigan. In December 2006, he was named a visiting fellow at the Yale Center for the Study of Globalization and announced plans to focus on writing a book on changing leadership in a globalized world. Lord Malloch-Brown is a member of the Executive Committee of the International Crisis Group and played a key role in its foundation in 1993 to 95. The International Crisis Group is a transnational, non-profit, non-governmental organisation founded in 1995 that carries out field research on violent conflict and advances policies to prevent, mitigate or resolve conflict. It advocated policies directly with governments, multilateral organisations and other actors, as well as the media. Lord Malloch-Brown's expertise reflects well with the university's own domain of expertise, where subjects such as international relations, law, politics and finance intersect. Lord Malloch-Brown's huge achievements made over a lifetime of service to the international good provides a role model for students and staff on all of the degree programmes and more. His readiness to use all available tools, from novel economic approaches to impactful advertising and PR, speaking on a level of innovation and entrepreneurship that we would like to instill in our community of learners. Pro-Chancellor, in the context of these outstanding achievements in the area of international law and diplomacy, I would like to call on you to confer on Lord Malloch-Brown an honorary doctorate from the University of Lincoln.
By the authority vested in me by the University, I am pleased to confer upon you the award of Doctor of Laws honoris causa and welcome you amongst us. Congratulations. Thank you. I'll take it back to give it to you. It's now my great pleasure to ask our honoured guest to address us.
Pro-Chancellor, honoured guests, family and friends, graduating class, it's a real honour to join you all tonight in being honoured with you. The disciplines of film and media hold unique responsibility in today's world. Let me just quote two headlines from this morning's newspaper, or two stories. One was how a brave daily newspaper in Cambodia, the Cambodian Daily, has been closed because of its criticism of corruption and authoritarianism. In justifying its closure, Hun Sen, Cambodia's strongman president, appeared to explain his action by saying that the American president, Donald Trump, agreed with him. Journalists are not to be trusted. On the other side of the world and the other side of the media industry, the London public relations company Bell Pottinger was just stripped of its membership, of its professional association, and its chief executive forced to resign for a reckless social media campaign in South Africa, which sought to relieve the government and its corporate allies of the charges of corruption against them by running a campaign against their critics in the social media. The media, or at least what we think of as the free media, is under threat as possibly never before in any of our lives. The obligation to report the facts as best you know them seems to have been replaced by an invitation to invent the facts as best fits your political aim. Social media and populism have reinforced closed social media worlds where people talk to each other in a comfort zone where none challenge each other because they all agree with each other. It's a sorry reversal of my own years when, first as a journalist and then as an international civil servant and as a political advisor, I saw an extraordinary and exciting rise of democracies, an expansion of a free media around the world, a triumph of open societies over closed ones. As I remember squatting in a refugee camp on the Thai-Cambodian border, and I heard young Cambodians talk about the end of the dark Maoist horrors of the Khmer Rouge. And later when I saw in South Africa, close quarters, how it emerged from its own winter of apartheid, those were days to celebrate the rise of democracy and supporting it a free media. Today, as those two opening examples from Cambodia and South Africa showed, those gains are at risk. And the media, their guardian and champion, too often finds itself in its own story of disruption as its business model is undermined, no longer able often to support the kind of professional journalism we've been used to, and allowing in some ways the exciting rise of a new media, but one caught between the vision of a citizen journalism and the deep fractures of ideologically gated communities of often shared points of view and prejudices, which, as I said earlier, don't challenge each other. This is the world into which you launch your careers, where the media economy, driven by consumer and recreational spending, will in one way or another grow, and the number of you receiving degrees tonight show the health and energy in this sector of Britain's inventiveness and leadership in the world. But will that transparency that it often brings, where we see data used in innovative new ways to expose patterns of employment practice which are discriminatory or which are used to demonstrate poor corporate behaviors around the world, will all the exciting opportunities that the social media revolution has created for us, will they nevertheless still protect those values of freedom and fairness and openness that have underpinned the British vision of journalism and media, and film indeed, for so long? As many have said on occasions like this before me, these are the best and worst of times. So take your skills and make a success of them. But remember too your responsibility that this university has instilled in you to fight and believe in what is right. And as graduates, as you leave here, remember you are on the world's front line of today's battle, the battle for a free and open media. And in that, you carry all our futures with you. Good luck.
Professor Stephen Peacock will continue presenting the graduates who are receiving their awards this evening.
Pro-Chancellor, I'm pleased to present the remaining graduands now receiving first awards from the Lincoln School of Film and Media. Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts in Media Production, Ryan Etherington. Ella Fernley. Bobby Fensom. Charlotte Ferrer. Charlotte Fisher. Charlotte Fisher. Reese Fitchett. Zachary Fitzpatrick. Charlotte Ford. Frankie Frost. Selena Gallagher. Elizabeth Gent. Joshua Thomas Greeley. Montana Greenwood. Zerin Gukali. Luke Holstead. Charles Thomas Hamilton. Alexander John Egerton Hamilton. Jamie Hammond. Bethany Harrington. Callum William Hartley. Megan Harvey Adcock. Christopher Haitley. William Helps. Adam Wayne Herrick. Zoe Hewitson. Oliver Hodgkinson. Kelly Louise Hodgkiss. Joshua Stephen Howie. Thomas Hughes. Alexander Hull. Jed Hunt. Jessica Kelsey. Chloe Patricia Kenner. Natalie Kennett. Poppy Hannah Kent. Dean Kilgallen. Jack Edward Kirk. Jack Kersop. Stephanie Knight. Madeline Krivanoska. Michael Thomas Law. Eleanor Leach. Kiki Lee. Isabel Lee. Jack Lilly. Sophie Lindley. Molly Madison. Liam McGlone. Z. May. Robert Mills. Louisa Morgan. Dylan Moforth. Katie Jane Nelson. Joanne Newton. Amber Natalie Newton. Alice Mary Nichol. Kasha Nicklin. Luke Neild. Laura O'Brien. Jia Min Ong. Anna Osborne. Abigail Palmer. Yasmin Palmer. Jack Parr. Sophie Parsons. Benjamin Jacob Peck. Joseph Pickford. Ellie Plummer. Jasmine Pointer. Kyle Potter. Jack Michael Power. Georgia Annette Priest. Thomas William Price. Ryan Stephen Purchase. Abigail Mary Rayner. Grant Jackson Rebecca. George Rees Jones. Patricia Remus. Michael Rice. Jade Richards. Willem Rivers. Luke James Roberts. Amy Elizabeth Robinson. Charlie Joe Rogers. Victoria Ruddy. Shabnam Salim. Carl Sandford. Lily Rose Saunders. Bethany Saunders. Dominic Shaw. Oliver Shooter. Emily Simpson. Ryan Jordan Simpson. Toby Sims. Shane Carl Smith. Katie Smith. Jordan Smith. Jordan Lewis Smith. Laura Smith. Brian Smith. Ryan Smith. Adam South. Kaylee Stone. Dan Taggart. Sean Talbot. Anthony Tang. Kia Tansley. Lauren Taverner. Samuel Tetlow. Daniel Thompson. George Thornton. Megan Joyce Thorpe. Isaac Tingy. Rory Tomlinson. David Temple. Saul Tyler. Francesca Hannah Veal. Connor King Lisgard Villardson. Oliver Waldron. Thomas Walker. Aidan Stewart Hiram Waples. Harrison Watson. Matthew Webb. Jamie Whiffen. Claire Whitewick. Samuel Wiggins. Rose Wilkinson. Philip Wilson. Graham Wilsoncroft. Bethany Woods. Kieran Woolcott. Elliot Wright. Gabriella Zack. C.G. Zhang. Degree of Bachelor of Arts in Media Production, Joshua Foster. Benjamin Woodier. Diploma of Higher Education in Media Production, Michael Croft. That concludes the presentation of awards this evening.
We now invite Ben Reynolds to say a few words on behalf of those graduating this evening.
Pro-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, graduates, honoured guests, lecturers, friends and family, good evening. I'd like to begin by saying what an honour it is to have been asked to make this speech tonight on behalf of the graduating Lincoln School of Film and Media students. This evening's ceremony has been a time to reflect on our years at the University of Lincoln, as well as to celebrate the achievements that we have made. However, it is also a time for us as graduates to say thank you to those who helped us to achieve. A huge thank you, therefore, must be said to all of our lecturers, tutors, workshop leaders, and the friends that we have made in those people. for guiding us through good and bad over the years and helping us to achieve our individual best, as well as for understanding that no matter how many times you may advise us not to, some of us just have to leave it 1 minute before the deadline. On behalf of all of us as students here, I'd like to thank all of the friends, family, and other guests here this evening who have supported us during our time at university. At times, it was not an easy task, and we could not have done it without the love and support of you. So thank you. Our experience at Lincoln cannot really be summarized by me in a 3-minute speech. All of us will take different memories away from our time here. However, I was scrolling through my Instagram feed last week, thinking of what I was trying to say in this speech, and I came across something that really grabbed me. It was an excerpt from a speech made by the late Richard Attenborough. At the time, he was receiving a Life Peer Award from the British Film Institute in 1994. But I feel that what he said then is still incredibly relevant today, especially to us as students of art moving on into the world. So I'd like to leave you with this, a short section from that speech. From the very earliest of times, the arts have been an instinctive essential of our humanity. They are a miraculous sleight of hand which reveals the truth, and a glorious passport to greater understanding between the peoples of the world. The arts not only enrich our lives, but also grant us the opportunity to challenge accepted practices and assumptions. They give us a means of protest against that which we believe to be unjust, a voice to condemn the brute and the bully, a brief to advocate the cause of human dignity and self-respect, a rich and varied language through which we can express our national identity. Today, as a nation, we face daunting problems which are obliging us to examine the very fabric of our society, and the role of the arts in healing a nation divided cannot be overestimated. The arts are not a luxury. They are crucial to our well-being, to our very existence as eating and breathing. Access to them should not be restricted to a privileged few. The arts are for everyone, and failure to include everyone diminishes us all. I'd like to finish then by saying once again a huge thank you to everyone that has encouraged, helped, or been a source of happiness to us during our time of study, as well as by saying massive congratulations to everyone graduating. Well done. Work hard and keep rested. Thank you very much.
Well played, Ben. Thank you very much. So our ceremony is now drawing to its close. Our thanks go to our guests for the support they have given to the university and its students over the years. We hope you will continue to be in touch. We also hope that you, our graduates, will keep in touch through the alumni network, not only with each other, but also with your university, and watch its future progress with pride as we will watch yours. As graduates, I invite you to take your rightful places in the academic procession as we move from the cathedral across to the castle grounds, where the alumni celebration reception has been prepared for everyone here. All that now remains is for me to express the university's warmest best wishes to you in the words of an old Celtic blessing. May the road rise up before you. May the wind be ever at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may your God hold you in the hollow of his hand. Congratulations to you all. Well done.
Our ceremony is now concluded. The academic procession will leave the platform and make its way through the Great West Door and across the castle square to the castle. As it passes, our new graduates will themselves take their places in the procession and leave the cathedral. As they do so, please stay in your places and give them a final round of applause before joining them in the castle grounds. Please all rise for the full academic procession.